My father left home when I was just a baby, never really knew my dad. First time I saw my father, I was 5 years old. I saw him again when I was 17. I saw him again later in my 20s. It never was a father-son thing. It was more of a friendship thing. My dad was a hard guy to get to know. If you ever saw the movie Big Fish, that was my father. He was the guy that could tell you all these great stories, but you never really knew who he was. But he was great at telling stories. He told me one time he was at Ralph's Market in Los Angeles where he lived. And it's a big supermarket out there. And he's standing in line to pay, and in front of him is a little lady, and in front of her is a guy with a big floppy hat on. Well, they're minding their own business, and all of a sudden the guy with the floppy hat, this blood starts running down his face. And everybody starts going, "Oh my gosh, you're bleeding, you're bleeding." He goes, "Everybody be quiet, leave me alone, don't say anything, just mind your own business." Well, the manager hears all this. He walks over to see what's going on, takes the hat off the guy. On top of the guy's head are 2 pounds of ground beef. It's leaking down his face, and they gave him away. Now, did that happen? I don't know, but it could have happened. But my dad was great at telling you stories like that. But you never really knew if his stories were partially true or not true at all. I used to say his stories were kind of like hot dogs. They were very tasty. You just weren't sure about the contents. That's kind of the way his stories were. But one thing he told me one time when I was 17, I never will forget this. We were riding through the streets of LA. He began to talk to me. He said, "You know, the most important thing in life is to know what you do best and what you enjoy doing. And if you're lucky, that's what you get to do." You know, my dad was right. If you can find something you enjoy doing and you get to spend life doing it, man, you're a lucky person. But see, my dad was a step short. It's not just about finding out what you love to do and getting to do that thing. It's about doing it massively and affecting the life of somebody else.